So is there a day that you could, or like a date that you could say that you were officially cured, that the doctor said?
When you have cancer, they'll never tell you that you're cured.
Mm-hmm.
They'll, but what happened was I'm still not cured. 8 years later, my leukemia came back. There was one cell that they didn't get through the radiation and the chemo that lay dormant in my body.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I said eight, not 8 years later, 10 years later. But what happened was you no longer go for a bone marrow transplant for chronic myelocytic leukemia. There is a pill out called Gleevec, and you take that once a day. And how they explain that to me is inside your system where your cells come out. What it is it's a C, and your cells come out here. They don't want my cells to come out because they're cancerous.
Mm-hmm.
So this Gleevec closes up the C, and they stay in here. So far, it's worked, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And I just take one pill a day. And today, if you got chronic myelocytic leukemia, that's exactly what they would give you, is a Gleevec pill.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it hasn't been on the market long enough to know, does this pill work for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? They don't know that yet.
Okay.
But so far, it's worked.
Would you say that you live like a relatively normal life, or have you lost the ability to do anything that you did before being diagnosed?
Well, what's happened since the bone marrow transplant
Mm-hmm.
is that my left side got weak. For some reason, we don't know why. I've been tested, I've been back to Johns Hopkins, I've been to a neurologist. They don't know if it's MS, which could have been the trauma from the transplant, or from the trauma from the transplant, or from the total body radiation. But the oncologists at Hopkins believe if it was from the radiation, I had total body radiation, so I would have been weak on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So they're leaning toward the MS. In addition to that, after my transplant, my kidney levels were just a little high. They were like a 1.3. And I think they're supposed to be below a 1. But as time went on, they were 1.3, went to 1.5 to 1.7. Over the last 20 years, it actually put me into kidney failure. And now I'm on kidney dialysis, which I have to do for the rest of my life. And that was attributed to the leukemia. It affected my kidneys. But before you have your transplant, they make you aware that it could hurt your kidneys, it could hurt your lungs, it could hurt your liver. They let you know all this up front.
Okay, so the leukemia definitely increased your chances for other diseases.
Right, in which I definitely have the kidney disease, and I do dialysis 3 times a week. Without it, I would die.
Is that a problem, like going 3 times a week? Is it like a hassle?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It interferes in your life like you can't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go away somewhere for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Now, I could have dialysis out of town, but you need to know far enough in advance if you need
Yeah.
dialysis out of town. So,
No spontaneous trips. Yeah.
no spontaneous trips. If you're sick, it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go to the hospital, which I was admitted last year.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the hospital and they had to do dialysis there. So it is a very big inconvenience. Anyone who's on kidney dialysis hates it. It's a life sentence, is what it is. If I knew I had to do it for 2 or 3 years, mentally I could take it
Mm-hmm.
because I know there's an end to it.
Yeah.
There's no end to this. You have to do it for the rest of your life or you die. And I can have a kidney transplant. My brother, who's a perfect match, is willing to give me his kidney.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do it because from everything else, my leukemia, my weak left side, my high blood pressure, I'm not healthy enough to have a transplant.
Yeah, it's just too much on your body.
It's too much. It wouldn't take.
Okay. Do you have any advice to kids or adults with leukemia, or any advice that would like help them to prevent the disease that doctors have told you, or just any advice in general?
Yeah, the advice is to never give up. I never gave up.
Mm-hmm.
I never said, why me? Why not me? My husband's first wife died of cancer. She was a nurse. She was only 37, and she never got to raise her kids. I raised them.
Mm-hmm.
And I always look at things. I look at the glass as half full, not half empty. I see people in wheelchairs. I see people at dialysis without legs from diabetes. And I say they would give anything to be me and walk with a cane.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how bad you think you have it, somebody has it worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always tried to keep a good attitude, and I feel very fortunate that I've been able to raise my kids and see them graduate high school and college.
Mm-hmm. I forget what I was gonna ask. Are you glad that you did the transplant, or do you regret it?
Oh no, I wouldn't be here today.
Okay.
I would have only lasted 2.5 years.
And have you noticed that like you're more slowed down around the house, or?
Oh yeah, everything has affected me. The diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
the kidney dialysis, the day you have it, you're wiped out. You can't do anything. The next day you feel good, but you're back to it the following day. And my weak left side, I just sold my home and got a 1 level because I couldn't make the steps anymore. So I am deteriorating as time goes on. But I've been fortunate enough to still be able to get the years out of it. It's harder for me, but at least I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you can pause that.